G'day everyone, Gareth here from Organic Growing Melbourne. First of all, I'd just like to say Merry Christmas to everyone. Hope everyone's had a fantastic Christmas. I know I did. But I just thought I'd take a little walk around. I haven't been that active lately. Been flat out busy, so before I go back to work I thought I'd make another video. I'll start off with my corn. As you can see here, I've actually planted 3 different varieties of corn in here. This is I planted some seedlings in here, and then these ones I planted some seeds. And the difference between the varieties is quite different. I've got this corn here that's already flowered, obviously, because I planted this earlier. The seedlings, the seeds went in about, I don't know, 6 to 8 weeks after these ones. But looking at the height of these, which are flowered, pollinated already, you can see I've got some corn growing here now. But these haven't even flowered yet, and they're almost the same height as these seedlings that I planted in. And what I'll do is do a taste test on all the 3 varieties and figure out which one's the best, which one's the biggest corn, the juiciest corn, and then I'll keep a couple of the cobs and I'll plant that variety next year. Asparagus is still taking off, but relatively slowly. We're still getting new spears coming up, as you can see, but there's quite a few new ones coming up in here as well, but I can't harvest any of these. These crowns have to grow a lot stronger before I can harvest the asparagus. If you harvest the asparagus in its first year from its crowns, you can actually kill it. I think this one here did have one come up, but I think I've lost that one already. Not that I've harvested any spears, it's just sometimes they just don't all take. And then we've got the cucumber here. I've already harvested some cucumber here, trying to get it to climb up here. I haven't been here for a few days, went away for Christmas, so I have to tie these back up. Alright, and we go over to the ginger here, which is going crazy. And the Tamarillo is doing really well. They're liking it on this side of the house. Doesn't get any afternoon sun. Gets a bit of protection from the wind, except for today. And also my wife and 2 daughters got me this for Christmas. Check that out. How good's that? Chuck that on the entrance to the back garden. How cool's that? Hey Aussie. Then we got the red Tamarillo here, which is doing really well. Some of them are starting to get their stripes on them. There's literally hundreds and hundreds of flowers all over this Tamarillo. So that's good. I think this is its 2nd year. I've also, these lower branches I've cut off and I've potted them. Hopefully I'll get some cuttings to root for, because within 3 or 4 years hopefully I'll get some fruit coming off these ones. Plum, which is doing really well, but a long way from being ripe, which is good because I have another plum which is actually ready, to be honest, some of it. The bananas, which are going crazy. When you get this type of weather, the bananas just absolutely love it. Bit of humidity. Still no flower yet. Cross fingers. The yacons, which are all starting to droop over. I'm not too sure why. I'm going to just say that the wind's doing it. It's getting plenty of water, but they're doing really well. So yeah, sorry about that, I was interrupted. So yeah, the yacons, although doing really well, I think the wind is sort of bending them over a bit. but all in all doing really well. Again, these won't be ready until these canes all die back. The dragon fruit, here's another crazy. Have a look at how well these dragon fruits are doing. This one, I'm going to have to tie this one down soon because this one's almost doubled in length as well, and I'm getting some new ones shooting here. But again, remember I said in my dragon fruit videos, I don't want these ones to grow. So I always pull these little ones off that start to grow. I want it to get to the top before it starts growing more. And then we're getting a bit of rust here, as you can see. Sometimes you can just scratch it off. In this case I can't get into it, but sometimes you can scratch that rust off. This one here is doing alright. And then we've got these two again. So they're all sort of catching up with each other now. Here's another piece of rust just here. If you're lucky, there you go. You can see where I've scratched some rust off here as well. It scars it, but it heals over pretty quick. Doesn't seem to affect the dragon fruit at all. They'll probably end up getting quite a lot of rust during the winter. Which on the main one up the top, it got a lot of rust. I ended up having to cut some off. It gets real bad, it just starts to rot. But dragon fruit, I'm really happy with the way the dragon fruits are growing. Winter will be the big test. So over here we've got the two varieties of black sapote, both a grafted variety, these ones. And they're all starting to get a heap of new growth, and as you can see, this one here, little tiny flower buds starting to develop. There's some bigger ones over here, as you can see. This one's got a few of them actually, and this one, although it doesn't have any advanced flower buds like these ones, it does have a lot of new growth, which is starting to get some flower buds growing on there now, which is another good sign, obviously. The plums, as you can see, they're all almost ready now. The birds have started pecking them. That's the sign to start netting it. I've got the net ready, the big extension pole with the broom on the end, and we'll start netting these soon. Now the nectarine's not ready yet, but big. But the problem I'm getting again this year is that is brown rot. You can see how that's affected the whole, almost the whole one. And unfortunately, I'm probably going to have most of them getting affected again, which is devastating because I treated it for brown rot. I think I saw some more up here. Here's another one. See the brown rot? And it's going to affect that one because it's been close to it, which is a shame because some of these nectarines are massive. Massive nectarines. I pulled off heaps that have had brown rot, but again I think it's going to be too late. But there's some really good ones in here. Unfortunately, that's what you've got to deal with when you're growing organically. This one here I'll put in the fireplace. I'll burn them all. I'll pour a little bit of petrol in there and I'll just burn them. We got the Virginia here, which is doing okay. Sort of shaded under here for most of the day, but it seems to be doing pretty good. And then we got the strawberries here, which are all starting to flower. So when I put the net over, this net's like 10 by 10, I think. It can go over the 3 fruit trees and then down along the log line here to protect the strawberries as well. And then we've got the custard apple, which is doing okay. Again, protected from the nectarine from sun. Orange. There's a few oranges. Hopefully they'll all stay on. And then around the back here I've got my star fruit, or carambola, with all its new growth. It's looking really good. And of course all the avocado, which still are not ready, although I did grab one and it came off very easy, which is in the house now. Hopefully it's hopefully I've picked it at the right time, that it will ripen nicely. But like you can see here, some of these avocados look so close to being ready. Bit of burn there, I think. Bit of sun damage. But hopefully soon, cross fingers. This banana's taken off, doing really well, sending up some new suckers here. As you can see, this one here has started doing really well as well, sending up some suckers. I think it's a dwarf variety along with that one here. All come back, they almost look dead. But this has got a few suckers coming up, so I'll have to take some of them out. I'll take one of those out. And then we've got the Pinkerton avocado, which has had a heap of new growth since the last video, which would have been when it was flowering. This had some fruitlets on it, obviously all dropped off, but getting some beautiful new growth out of that one. And that's the Lamb House. Again, some new growth up the top there. But if we go into, oh, and also I did a video about the passion fruit. That's a beautiful size avocado, that one. I've planted it here. I'll train this to pretty much grow just on this fence here, and each year I'll give it a really, really heavy prune back into a little tiny area here, and just keep it quite small, this one. Apple tree, losing a lot of the stuff up the top here. Something's obviously eating it. Maybe the strong wind, because these ones don't seem to be affected. We've only got a couple of apples. Oh, by the way, I'm actually filming this on a GoPro. I got a GoPro for Christmas. I've been testing it out, and I'm using it with no microphone. It's just got the onboard microphone, but plans are to get the microphone attachment for a directional, and then maybe even a wireless microphone that I can pin to my chest as well. If we go into here, this is a Fuerte avocado. If you go back to my videos on my avocado, this has gone crazy. I can tell you right now, from there all the way up to here, it's poking through the chicken wire now. In fact, it wants to go past, but the wind blows it and knocks the tops off all the new shoots, you see. So the top's going to have to come off this really soon, and then I'll have to and then fence the rest of this in so the chickens can't get out and animals can't get in. Hi girls. Hey girls. Oh, you watch that? The camera it scared you. But look at that, I'm so happy with the way the Fuerte is growing so aggressively in Melbourne. Like this is by far the fastest growing avocado I've owned. And this was bought the same time as the bacon, which I'll show you now if I can get around the chickens. Come on girls. Good girls. Alright, let's get out of here. And I will show you the bacon, which is still growing really well. It's looking mighty healthy. But compared to the Fuerte, have a look at that. A lot smaller is it, but doing really well. Oh my god, I just noticed something here. Check this out. I did not see this. Look at, I've never seen this. There's one avocado remaining on the bacon. Wow. That's really exciting. If that stays on, I am going to be, well, first of all, I'm going to be amazed because this is its first year in the ground. I'm checking to see if there's any more. Wow. A lot of you are going to understand how excited I am right now to see a fruit that's still that big. Alright, let's go have a look at these now. We've got the white Chatoot, I'll say that again, the white Chatoot mulberry, which is getting a lot of new growth on it. No second round of mulberries yet though, unfortunately. And then if we come down here to the Davidson's plum, still sending up new growth, which is expected, but really happy with the way that's growing. And then we got the lychee here, which has dropped most of its flowers from this spot here, but this one still has some flowers on here, but I don't think it's going to hold on to any of its fruit. Honestly, I think it needs to go in the ground. Another tree that's doing really well is the Cherimoya. This is the seedling Cherimoya, and it's just, I mean, let's have a look. This top has just grown from here this season all the way up to here. So I'm really happy with all the new growth, and it's looking really healthy as well. But this particular tree is actually, it's a temperate climate anyway, so you'd expect it to do pretty well down here. That's the Cherimoya seedling. Avocado seedling. It looks a bit yellow. It's completely pot bound. It's in desperate need to either go in the ground or a bigger pot. But the plan is to graft onto that. And here we go, the macadamia A4 variety, which is a cutting. Again, doing really good. All this is new growth here. And then we've got another little bit coming at the bottom there. And my other lychee, which I told you about, died in transit. Well, yeah, I pulled it out. It's gone. It was never coming back. And then the black sapote is still holding on to all its fruit. So that one out the back there, if you can see that. Still doing really well. And it's getting all this new growth and starting to develop some more flower buds here. So really happy with that. In fact, lots of new flower buds. If you look around, just about every new branch has got some flower buds on it. There we go, look at that. We might get quite a lot this year. Again, I'll go around and prune off all these dead ones. I've done it once. They just seem to, some branches just seem to die off. I'm not too sure why. Again, this might be starting to get a bit root bound as well. The Jaboticaba, or Jaboticaba, wherever you're from, the yellow variety, it's doing okay. We're getting some new growth here. Little bits of new growth. We've got the large leaf Jaboticaba, and again, this is getting a lot of new growth as well. So they've been liking it out here. And then we've got the giant Jaboticaba, which is getting a lot of new growth, but it seems to be a little bit more delicate, this one. A little bit more delicate. On the new blackberries, the Chester variety, I've done a video on these as well. Getting a little bit of fruit from these ones, more flowers. They're doing alright. And then we've got just some vegetables growing here. So I've got some lettuce, spinach, which the wrong time of year to put it in. It's going to seed before it's even at a point that I can harvest it. Heaps of tomatoes going this year. A few different varieties. I'm starting to flower these ones. And And then around here I've got the sweet potato. I ended up planting all 4 sweet potato into that little garden bed. Carrots and some more potato coming up here as well. The 3rd round of potatoes in the season. Say hi, LaRose. Just picking up the chickens. She's getting quite used to it. Although they follow her around and peck her legs. Go get her, Belle. Some more potatoes that are probably ready to harvest in here. They're dying back. And these ones I didn't plant. They've come up on their own. Nope. Look at that. This is what you've got to deal with. Parrots. We're going to put these nets on today. There's one there. I don't know if you can see that. Here. There. Gone. In a minute. The bamboo hasn't brought out any new shoots yet. It always seems to come out late, sometimes too late in the season. But hopefully soon. We need this wet, humid weather then to take off. And sorry about the wind. I think we're about to get some rain. The soursop, still alive, but really not doing much at all. But the almond, the dwarf almond on the other hand, is really taken off. And looking really, really healthy too, so that's good. And then I've got some more tomatoes growing here. This is the Carson's Red, pomelo. And that's looking pretty good too. Yeah. And this is the other soursop. We've got some growth at the bottom here, but you can see the graft. Where's the graft? I think the graft is here somewhere, and we've got a lot of rootstock coming out. So I'm going to just break these off because I don't want this rootstock to grow. Being a grafted variety. But I'm not holding my hopes up for these ones. And then we've got the Brazilian cherry, which is a seedling, which is still getting some new growth coming up. It's a bit spindly though. I've had to sort of support it a bit, protect it from the wind. More tomatoes. Miracle berry, or miracle fruit. Again, not much happening here at all. But we'll see how it goes. It's still alive. And the Groomy Chummer, again, still getting all new growth. This should be okay. But really happy with the way that's coming out. Other tomato that's fallen over. We'll fix that up today. The red Chatut mulberry, which had one on here, seems to have fallen off. Oh, the birdies have got it, which was almost ready, damn it. But still getting a lot of new growth. So we'll see how this one goes. And then we go over to the pears, or cherry, which isn't doing much. All the fruit fell off the cherry. This pear's doing pretty good. There's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 pears in its first year in the ground, which is pretty good. We'll see how they go. Some of them still might drop off, obviously. The ice cream bean still doing really well here, and still sending out some new growth. You see here, sending out some new growth just here. It's going to bring out some more there, and some new growth just there as well. And then we got the pear tree here, which has got one pear left on it, and I'm going to have to tie that up because it's touching the ground. And the apples, which have been just annihilated by worms, you can see them burrowing in here. What do you do? And then, as you can see, the kiwi fruit is sending out. This has gone crazy, this has. Absolutely crazy. See all this new growth. It's even sending out new growth just here and here. Can't believe it. Cannot believe how vigorous the kiwi fruit is. Even the really young one here, I'll have to get up there and start threading them around getting it away from the neighbour's house. But guess what? There's the kiwi fruit right here doing really well. I believe there's 5 of them. If I can find them. But they're looking pretty good. They're getting to almost the size of a golf ball now. You can see another 2 just here. And then there's another one just here. So there's 5. I think that's it. I think that's it. We'll see how I go. I'll have to put some sort of protection over these when they get a bit ripe, get a bit bigger. Because no doubt the possums are going to find these ones. Because the possums travel all on this fence to get to all the fruit trees. You can see it's coming out. It's coming out. Kids are on the swings and they run into these all the time. And then over here, starting to get a bit more colour out of the hibiscus. This is about to send out a whole new bunch of flowers, but they're only little tiny ones, those ones. But a lot of them are closing up as well, unfortunately. But this one had a beautiful yellow one here, and then some orange and some pink ones. But here's the dragon fruit here. Again, all this here is new growth this season, and same with that top one going up here. This one here, those 2, the one behind there, and then if you look up the top there, one just, where is it? Can't see it in the video. One just there, and a couple more in the middle. Still no evidence of any flowers yet. And what I'm going to do, I'm sure a while back I watched a video, and to encourage it to flower, you tip it. I'm not too sure. I'll have to look back into that. So one of the girls is getting upset. Alright, so that's just a quick update of the back garden and how everything's going. But we'll wrap that up. It's going to be quite a long video, this one, so we'll wrap that up, and I'll see you in the next video. Alright, take care everyone. See you later. Bye.